Have you ever heard of a city so powerful, so advanced, that it vanished in a single day and night? This is the legend of Atlantis, a mystery that has captivated explorers, historians, and dreamers for over 2 millennia. Was it a real place, a lost paradise swallowed by the sea? Or is it simply one of the greatest stories ever told? Today, we're diving deep into the ocean's depths to separate fact from fiction and explore the enduring enigma of the lost city of Atlantis. Our journey begins in ancient Greece, around 360 BC, with the philosopher Plato. In his dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, he introduces us to this incredible island empire. Plato describes Atlantis as a marvel of engineering and social structure. Located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which we now know as the Strait of Gibraltar, this would place it somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean. According to Plato, Atlantis was a confederation of 10 kingdoms founded by Poseidon, the Greek god of the sea. The capital city itself was a spectacle of concentric rings of land and water, connected by massive canals and bridges. The Atlanteans were said to possess technology far beyond their time. They had grand temples sheathed in precious metals like gold, silver, and a mysterious shimmering metal called orichalcum, which was said to be second only to gold in value. Their military was formidable, with a powerful navy and an army that sought to expand its empire, conquering parts of Europe and Africa. The land was fertile, the people were prosperous, and for a time, they lived in a state of utopian grace. But as with many great tales, pride came before the fall. Plato wrote that the divine nature of the Atlanteans became diluted over generations. They grew greedy, corrupt, and arrogant, filled with an unjust craving for power and possession. This hubris angered the gods, particularly Zeus, who decided to punish them. In a cataclysm of epic proportions, Plato tells us, in a single day and night of misfortune, the island of Atlantis disappeared into the depths of the sea. Earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and massive floods supposedly wiped the entire civilization off the face of the earth, leaving no trace behind. For centuries, Plato's account was largely considered a moral fable, an allegory to warn against the dangers of human pride and imperial ambition. He might have created Atlantis as a thought experiment, a fictional adversary to his idealized vision of ancient Athens. But what if it wasn't just a story? What if Plato was recording a real, albeit embellished, historical event? This question has fueled countless expeditions and theories. Turning a philosophical tale into the world's most famous lost city treasure hunt, one of the most compelling theories places Atlantis in the Aegean Sea, specifically linking it to the Minoan civilization on the island of Thera, now known as Santorini. Around 1600 BC, Thera experienced one of the largest volcanic eruptions in human history. The eruption was so massive it caused the center of the island to collapse, forming a giant caldera and triggering devastating tsunamis that would have decimated coastal settlements across the Mediterranean. The Minoans were a highly advanced Bronze Age civilization with impressive palaces, art, and a powerful navy, just like the Atlanteans. The timing and the catastrophic nature of Thera's destruction fit Plato's description of a civilization wiped out by a natural disaster. Could Plato have heard an ancient Egyptian account of the Minoan collapse passed down through generations and adapted it into his story of Atlantis? It's a very plausible connection. But the search doesn't stop there. Other theorists look to Plato's explicit mention of the Atlantic Ocean. Some have proposed the Azores Islands, a volcanic archipelago in the mid-Atlantic, as a potential site. These islands are the peaks of massive underwater mountains, part of the mid-Atlantic ridge. Could they be the last remaining mountaintops of a much larger landmass that sank beneath the waves? The geology is intriguing, but concrete archaeological evidence is still missing. Then we have the more fringe but fascinating theories. Some have pointed to the Bimini Road, an underwater rock formation off the coast of the Bahamas. Discovered in the 1960s, these large, rectangular limestone blocks look almost man-made, like a paved road or the foundation of a wall. Geologists, however, have largely concluded that it's a natural formation of beach rock. Still, for believers, it remains a tantalizing what-if. Perhaps the most dramatic theory of all places, Atlantis in Antarctica. This idea, popularized by authors like Charles Hapgood, suggests that a pole shift caused the entire continent of Antarctica to move from a more temperate climate to its current icy location. In this scenario, Atlantis would have been a flourishing civilization on a green, free continent, which was then flash frozen and buried under miles of ice. While a captivating thought, this theory requires a radical reevaluation of geology and human history that most mainstream scientists find impossible to support. So where does that leave us? After centuries of searching, we have to face a hard truth. There's no direct, verifiable archaeological evidence of Atlantis. No orichalcum has been found, no underwater ruins have been definitively identified, and no ancient inscriptions other than Plato's own writings mention this great empire. Every sonar scan of the ocean floor, every deep-sea expedition, has come back empty-handed. From a purely scientific and historical standpoint, Atlantis remains a myth. But the lack of evidence has never stopped the power of the idea. Atlantis represents something profound in the human psyche. The dream of a lost golden age, a paradise that once was. It's a story about the fragility of civilization, a reminder that even the greatest powers can be brought to ruin. It fuels our sense of adventure and our desire to believe that there are still great mysteries hidden from us, waiting to be discovered. The story of Atlantis challenges us to look at our own society, our own ambitions, and our own relationship with the natural world. The search for Atlantis has inadvertently led to real discoveries in oceanography, geology, and archaeology, has pushed the boundaries of exploration, and inspired us to learn more about our planet's past. So, while we may never find the golden roof temples or concentric canals described by Plato, the quest itself has been incredibly valuable. What do you think? Was Atlantis a real place lost to time, a distorted memory of the Minoan catastrophe, or simply a brilliant philosophical allegory crafted by Plato? The answer, it seems, is still lost to the depths, making Atlantis not just a lost city, but history's most enduring and fascinating mystery. Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the legend of Atlantis. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next adventure into history's greatest mysteries. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring.